So we just kind of clean up the edges and then shave off the fibers that were fractured in the pounding process. So that just cleans it up. Every tree is different. Every tree has different qualities and different aspects that make it good for one thing or another. It's a learning process that I think just continues. And it's also like each time you learn about that one tree that you're working with. Each tree is good for something. The tree will tell you what you're going to be able to make, really. You like elephants?
Yes.
Do you want shoes on?
I don't. I like barefoot.
Okay, good.
Even if we can get another 50 years of borrowed time, there's this invasive species that will ultimately decimate this precious thing. Looking at how many generations have had that and experienced that relationship, and it does make that relationship even more precious and important. This right here would be considered the seed source tree. Like, this is this ancient tree, and it has apple and birch around it, and there's one pine. So when this was propagating the area, it was predominantly deciduous. And then all of these little guys, these are all ash. And then you can kind of see genetically the health that it's producing, because this corky bark is considered a sign of good health. You can sort of tell from how easily, number one, it comes off, but then how corky it is. When I was 18, my grandfather was diagnosed with emphysema, and I think that was probably the point, because I had made baskets before then. But when you realize the sort of preciousness of that knowledge, and that generational wisdom has a finite ability to pick it up, and then thinking like generations and generations back in my family have been practicing the same thing, and there's a door closing and you have this limited access to it. That's when I really, not necessarily thought I'm gonna be a basket maker, but I thought I have to take the opportunity to actually learn this, because that's not gonna be a possibility in a few years. And so yeah, like struggling with like what's even the point if we can't carry it on? And then knowing that this is my job. And even if it's just this generation, and maybe when my kids are grandparents, there'll be some seed source that's still available, and they'll have that knowledge, and maybe it'll skip a generation, but it'll still be there. I mean, I think that's, yeah, I don't know. It is the unknown, right? I mean, we constantly exist in the unknown, and this is another aspect of that. But yeah, it's just, I guess it's the sort of responsibility of being a cultural knowledge keeper, is dealing with the sucky parts as well. Just like, maybe this is the last generation. Maybe it's not. Maybe the hopeful ones will sort of like actually come through and manifest.